My name is Mel Brown and this is my No Frills podcast from Yorkshire in the north of England. I'm an autistic woman living with my husband, 3 kids, well one of them's at uni, and 3 cats. None of them are at uni. And I'm giving you an update today because I did plan to do 5 finishes in February, so 5 projects on the go. Some of them have been going on since November, and I wanted to finish them all in February. Well, I overshot a little. I finished them all today, so I'm a week ahead of myself. So I've shown you the Kai Mei and the other 2. The last ones I have to show you is the one I finished last night and the one I finished today. So last night I finished this. It is Wild Swan by Anneliese Maygrad. It, as you can see, needs to be blocked. Seriously needs to be blocked. I made it with this yarn, undyed, and I dyed it myself. So yeah, there's the lace pattern. It's really, really pretty. It's not going to be, you're not going to get the full joy of it until it's been blocked, but it needs to be a lot warmer before it gets blocked, because it's going to be blocked in the Blocking Queen's attic and it's too cold up there right now. So took 171 grams of this fingering weight MCM and quite a few weeks. Yeah, I'm really pleased with it. It's pretty. It's going to be a lot bigger when it's been blocked. So yeah, that's what I finished off last night, and then today I finished this. I would put it on for you, but I have a probably autoimmune condition that causes really, really painful cysts, and I have one under my arm at the moment and I can't really lift it very far without excruciating pain. So I have tried it on once today, but I'm not going to do it again. I just tried it on to see if it was finished, and it is. So here it is. There's the bottom. I've decided not to do a rib. The other one, the one that I did first as my kind of prototype, I did a rib on the bottom with front and back post stitches, but I decided not to do that with this. I did do the feature with the sleeve, but I decided not to do the rib at the bottom because I don't know, I think it looks a bit more modern without it. I don't know. If I decide that I don't like the look of it and I want to add one on, then I'll just spin some more and crochet on the bottom. But for now, it's finished. So for any of you who are new here, this is yarn that I spun in July 2019. A lovely podcaster, Gemma B Makes, did a Tour de Fleece team, and I was on that. And I dyed a whole load of Corriedale, and then I spun it, and then I did absolutely nothing with it. And then when was it? I guess it was a couple months ago. A few months ago, I started trying to find a pattern to make a jumper from it. So I cobbled one together from other patterns, and I made a prototype in acrylic because I knew that could be ripped back and not worry about it. And then once I got the pattern right, I made this with it. So Gemma, what do you think? As you can see, I've not worried about the jogs, how it's done as a spiral, so they're going to happen some way. I also didn't worry about ends because I did magic knots, so there are little bumps every now and then. Doesn't bother me in the slightest. And this last lot I didn't dye. This last lot was Corriedale already dyed by Wing and Wool Company, Wing and Wool Works, in the UK. So it's done. I'm really looking forward to wear it, but I'm going to give it a bit of a soak in the bath and then dry it flat, and then I'll be wearing it very, very soon. You'll be seeing me sat here with it on. I'm really, really pleased with it. Really pleased. And I can easily spin this grist of yarn anytime I want, so I can make more anytime I want in any colours. In fact, did you watch Before Christmas? And I was doing that blending project. So I was blending acrylic with Corriedale, my favourite fibre. That might be similar to this. I could maybe do one of these, although I might even make a bauble tee out of that, but anyway. So I have now planned not to cast anything on until the 1st of March. Well, that's a week away. So I did have one more work in progress, and that was this, which was the interlocking crochet. 25 years and counting, I think it was. There was loads and loads of little patterns. I did a couple and I haven't picked it up in months, and that's just my signal to me that actually it's not for me. So these are quite cute, run in the end, so there'll be little coasters or whatever. But I've officially designated that project finished. So I'm whipless. Oh, I've been dying this afternoon, you can tell, can't you? I don't use gloves. Something new to show you. Oh my goodness. I just wish you could feel this. It is the softest thing ever. It's just so beautiful. So, yeah. I'm not a big speckles fan, but do you know what? These are just divine. Oh, I love it. And you might ask, what are you going to do with it? I'm not going to do anything with it. I'm going to keep it and just stroke it. It's going to be a long time before I actually get around to using this, because I just want to stroke it all the time. I've got another set by Woolly Goodness Yarns, and I know I have another one on the way because Sarah's always buying them for me, my friend Sarah. And she said she's got another set for me, and I just, oh, I love them. Look. So that's pretty much what is in the past. Let me talk to you about the future. I've got 5 cast-ons planned, and some of them I'm doing with friends, so I'm going to annoy my friends by casting on early. Sorry, Kathy and Sarah and Gemma. So let me just run through what we have got. This is my homemade bag. In here we have all the Felt Fusion yarns left over from my advent calendar. You know, I made the Mild Magic with it. That's what I've got left over. And so I'm going to make a sand art cowl. It's a pattern by KD Gecko Knits. The pattern's currently unavailable. She's teaching workshops on it, but I've seen a bit of the workshop and I'm going to just go for it. So basically it's a free-form knitting using short rows, and it's just going to be basically a bit of experimenting, and you can add in, obviously I can add in anything I want, so it might end up putting in beads or God knows what. It's going to be a cowl ostensibly, but it's going to be a piece of art, a bit like the weaving but knitted, right? So I've got my yarns, I've got my needle, and Kathy is doing that with me. Kathy is one of my friends from the US. She's going to be doing that with me, and we're going to be casting that on pretty soon. So that's one of my 5, and do you know, I'm going to do that thing, you know, like Ange from Yarn and Yarn, she did 12 cast-ons of Christmas, so 12 consecutive days she cast on a new project and worked on it all day and then put it aside to do the next one. That's just obviously insanity. I mean, Ange knows she's insane. It's but it makes very good viewing, I have to say. Watching her deal with all of her projects makes very good viewing. If you haven't watched her Yarn and Yarns, I'll put a link down below. So that's the first of my 5 cast-ons. I think I might do a similar thing. I might do Bish Bash Bosh different days. Probably going to have to cast one of them on today because I'm whipless and it's not bedtime, you know, it's 4 something p.m. Oh, I need something. Right, okay, the next project I have to cast on is a skew. Didn't you just know it? This is, I think Sarah gave this to me. I love skews that have black in them. I think it is the best. So that's what it's going to look like, but it won't because it'll all be skewed up the leg. That is probably what I'm going to cast on tonight. I love German sock yarn. Do you like German sock yarn? Have you used it? If you're in the US, you maybe, I know from friends that you can't really get hold of it over there, but it's really good. And the price of it, I mean, I didn't buy this, I think this was a gift, but you've got 420 metres, it's the normal 75-25, and it's really strong, and the colours are lovely, and you can't go wrong. So that's going to be a skew. Kathy, poor Kathy is going to be very busy because she's going to knit skew with me. My 28th or something and her first. Now then, I'm going to come into a bit of struggle here because I'm not sure I know all the names of the patterns. This one is Macariri. and I don't know who it's by, but I'll put a link down below. This is a 3-colour shawl which Sarah and I are going to do together in Yak. So we've got this kind of natural, and I've got this purple, and then anybody who knows me will know what the other colour is. Guesses? 3 guesses? It's teal. Yes, purple and teal and pink, my favourite colours. So it's I'm going to be playing Yarn Chicken with it because the main colour you do need a little bit more yardage than I've got, but I'll be creative. So the natural and the teal are that, which is a set for the Cabin Path shawl, but I didn't want to do that. So and the purple is Felt Fusion. You know how much I love Felt Fusion yarn. It's in the colourway purple, which is surprisingly easy to remember. So that's all that, and that is ready to go. Have I got needles in there? Yes. I'm going to try out. I'm not very good with carbons, but I'm going to try these out. It will need a longer cable at one point, but I love having this all in a bag, so at any moment I can just pick it up and get started. You know, if you do that. The patterns generally are on my iPad. So that one, that's the Makariri. Now, the one I'm not sure about the name of is this one. It's a 3-colour mosaic knitting sock. No, I can't remember the name, but I'm going to put it down below. But I've got some leftovers of Madeline Tosh, and that's my beautiful Felt Fusion again yarn from the bottom of my sleeves of my bauble tee and the bottom of that. And that is my beautiful noodle soup yarn from the border of my Mild Magic. So if you watched before, you know all these yarns. That was a long time ago. You won't, I'll forgive anybody who doesn't remember that, because even I don't remember where that came from. So we've got needles in there as well. So that's socks. They're brother socks. You know, they're meant to be slightly brother. That's not the right word. Siblings. Can't remember. They're not meant to look exactly the same. As far as I'm concerned, no 2 socks should look exactly the same. Sorry, I can't remember the name of it. And finally, what on earth is this? Oh, this is a Scrappy V. Now this is another one I saw Ange do with some Advent minis. It is a whole load of yarns, leftover sock yarns. Look at that. And it's going to start off with kind of this is a leftover Zalbaball, I think, or is it? I can't remember. It's definitely a German sock yarn of some kind. That's quite a slow change. It's going to start off with that, and it's going to go through the yellows, and then into kind of ready bits, and then into blues, and then into purples at the end. And it's a Scrappy V, so it's a V-neck top in sock yarn. So yeah, it's going to take me a while, isn't it? But I love the look of Angie's one, and I just wanted a scrappy project really, just to use up some of those, because I've done blankets, but I've got 2 big scrap yarn blankets now, and I really don't want any more. And it's too big an endeavour to make for somebody else really. So those are my 5 projects. The plan is probably I will cast on skew today. The others I will do one day, one each day over the next 4 days, depending on what the other people who are doing them with me want to do. Makariri, Sarah's doing that with me, my friend Sarah, who we do swaps, and Kathy's going to do that at some point as well. So I'm trying to not to annoy my friends too much by saying, I'm sorry, I want to start now, but I'm going to. So that's where I'm at. I am still spinning every day, and I spun some, I spun some of this beautiful beast by Spin City, and I made some art yarn. I put a picture of that on Instagram. It is drying indoors at the moment, so I'll show you that next week. Oh, isn't it beautiful? So, and I've been spinning for the for this as well. So I've been spinning every day, and I'm going to continue. I'm trying to master. I've got fibre in my mouth again. Trying to master core spinning at the moment. So that's going really well. So yeah, now I've done all the traditional. I might go back to the blended project, you know, I was blending the acrylic with different colours of Corriedale. I have got some more bags of stuff lined up and some Rolags already made, so I can just crack on straight on with that. That's a good idea, as well as coarse pinning. But next month I have got to focus on a weave that's on my little loom, which is my Ashford loom indoors. It's a bit tedious because it's just one yarn all the way. The warp is nice, it's a hand spun from Sarah, but the weft is pretty boring. Commercial yarn, but I just needed something because I'm making a top and it's got 2 panels down here that are going to come out to here to make kind of sleeves. It's like a tunic thing, and I did those on the little loom as well, and they're with hand spun. Some of them are art bats from Spin City, and so 2 lovely hand spun panels on here, and I need a smaller, thinner panel down the middle, and I'm going to have to cut it to go over my head, so it needs to be something fairly robust and I won't say boring but steady. So I need to finish that piece, but I started it and I got bored with it instantly and I haven't done anything more on it. So once I've finished February, got this stupid, awful, horrible long month out of the way, then I will focus on that and make sure I do something like 3 inches a day or something, 6 inches a day, and make sure I get that finished so I can carry on with that. So my 10 garments for 2021 are coming on really well. I've got the jumper that was the prototype for this, and this jumper, and I've got the bauble tee, and I've got my first tunic thing from for my woven cloth. So the second tunic is there. Scrappy V, I'm starting soon. I've got a few patterns in my queue, but they need yarn, and I'm trying not to buy yarn the first 6 months of the year. So it's a bit of a silly goal to set, really, because once summer starts, I'll be doing knitting for Christmas. It's a really silly goal to set. I shouldn't have done that. I mean, I'm in charge, I can unset it. But yeah, this first 6 months is meant to be, well, I mean, it should be sort of knitting from stash, which is fine. I've got plenty of stash, but there are certain things I want to do, like one of the jumpers I want to make. It has DK. I have very little DK yarn, certainly not jumper quantities. So I think I'm rambling. Am I rambling? Okay, I think I'm going to stop there. Okay, thanks to everybody for watching. Thanks to anybody new for popping along. And as you might have noticed, there's no editing, there's no captions, there's no nothing. This is very fast and dirty, but I will make notes down below and put links in for anything that I've mentioned. If I've mentioned something and you want to know more about it, just make a comment. I always respond to comments. If you want to say hello, then say hello. I always love that. There is actually a Ravelry group for this podcast, but we don't really use it. So you can go along there if you want. It's just Mel Brown Crafting Podcast, and I am Funky40 on Ravelry. So yeah, go along there if you want and just say hi. Okay, happy crafting.